Good evening. I'm Doris Hall James from The Indie Show, and The Indie Show provides a platform to showcase an artist's musical journey from the beginning of their career to the present. Our guest for this week is Sharon Richie. Sharon has performed with many jazz, rhythm, and blues artists with a touch of elegance. Hi, Sharon. How you doing?
Hi, Doris.
Welcome to The Indie Show.
Thank you.
And it's good that you're here. I'm excited about having you do your interview.
I'm excited about being here.
Okay. All right, Sharon, are you from Philadelphia?
Yes, I am.
You are from Philadelphia,
Yes, I
around
am.
this area?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you did a lot of performances around this area?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Philly and abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's begin telling the world, because Facebook is seen all over the world. How did your music career begin?
Well, Doris, I actually started in church at the meager age of 5.
Oh, that's a good age.
My
Okay.
dad was a minister,
Mm-hmm.
and he put me up in front of the church and of about 500 people, and he told me, "Y'all hush, my baby gonna sing." And there it began.
Okay. And did his baby sing?
His baby sang.
Okay. And so you started at the age of 5 in the church, and then you continued throughout.
Yes, I
continuous.
did. And about the age of 10,
Mm-hmm.
my mom, she kept telling my dad, that baby got talent. Frank, we need to do something with it.
Okay.
And I was quite shy, but I was willing, to continue to do it.
Okay. Did you enjoy what you were doing?
I did.
You did enjoy it, right?
I like being the center of attention,
Mm-hmm. Now, you're the third person that said that to me. I asked them what motivated them to continue singing. They said the applause. As soon as I heard the applause, said I was gone.
Well, I had quite a few ministers in my realm. They used to call me the little entertainer. I was always thinking and fixing up skits and things for the kids to do. So that just kept me busy.
Okay.
Kept me out of trouble.
Well, so how long? No, after you left the church and you continue. What was your next step? After you were about 13, 14 years old, what did you do next?
My dad my parents weren't real strict, but they saw that, I was really interested in performing. And I used to sneak out and, go down the street. We lived on Green Street. The church on the corner, Breakwater used to rehearse in their basement.
No.
Yes, and I used to sneak down there to the Lutheran Church and sit on the steps and listen to the band play. And one day...
They are so hot.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They really are. And one day they said, you come on down here, because you're sneaking here every time we have rehearsal. You're sneaking in here. And I got to sing.
They let you sing.
They let me sing.
Okay.
What an experience.
I know it was. So did you come from a musical family?
I did. As a matter of fact, Sam and Dave.
Okay.
Dave Prater is my first cousin.
Now, Sam and Dave, what song did they do?
Soul Man.
Soul Man.
I'm
Soul
a
Man.
soul man.
I couldn't think of it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they were your cousins.
Dave Prater
Dave
was my first cousin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did they know at that time that you were interested in singing?
No. We were in Philadelphia. Dave and Sam were in Georgia
Okay.
at that time, as far as I remember.
Okay.
Or no.
Okay.
So they didn't get to know this part of the family for a long time. And when we came to light, we were still kids, and, Dave was really out there.
Okay.
So
you started out as a solo artist, right?
Yes.
When you doing a lot of solo.
Absolutely, yes. I worked as a solo artist because I didn't know how to sing background.
Okay,
You
some
know, and-
solo artists, they don't know how to sing background.
I didn't know
You're
how
a
to
lead
sing
singer,
background.
no, you okay? All right, okay. All right.
I always knew that, only because my dad, he would always put me front and center,
Uh-huh.
so I felt like that's where I should have been,
Okay, okay.
So
So you sang lead vocals for a lot of bands and groups around the
Yes,
city and
around
beyond
Philly.
that, right?
Yes, indeed I
And
did.
and so what made you, okay, now you were soloist, but why did you get into bands instead of going pursuing an actual solo career at that time? Why did you join bands?
Well, it became a educational issue.
Okay.
I couldn't sign on to a regular tour, because my mom said, education first.
Oh yes,
And if you
I
want to,
understand that.
do this, you're going to do it the right way.
Mhm.
You're not going to go out there with this hullabaloo person and
Mhm.
get all tricked up. And I'm not going to have that. So if you can't do school, you can't do music.
Well, that's just what my mom told me.
She
But
she
it,
was a
it helped,
stickler.
didn't it?
Yes, it did. My parents were sticklers for education, and they couldn't afford to send valets and teachers on the road with me. So um, I chose to stay in school.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
So you stayed in school, is that through high school and all that before
Through
you
high
actually really got into the music?
well, no. At the age of 13,
Mhm.
we were in Chicago, and that's when my dad's friend Don Casale
Mhm.
came around and said, Frank, that girl got a gift. You need to let me run with it.
Okay.
So he took us to Memphis, and while we were in Memphis, we met a group that Don was promoting. I
Mhm.
forget the name of the group,
Mhm.
but they had me to sing. And while we were at this rehearsal, Bob Marley was on the show.
No.
And
Was he?
yes, he was. And I was shy. I was very shy at 13. I will never forget. I was standing behind the curtain singing. Bob Marley was in the audience, and he was saying, "Who is that singing?
Mhm.
We need to see her. Where's she there?"
Okay.
And much to my
But why were you
my
standing behind the curtain
because
singing?
I couldn't stand in front of people and sing. I was shy. I was 13
Okay.
years old.
Okay.
Anyway, he came up and snatched the curtain back, and
Uh-huh.
he says, "You there? You sing. You come out. Come out. See them people there? Them no bigger than you are. You for sing. They want to see who sing." And that's where it began for me.
So was it an actual tour that you did with him?
No, it wasn't an actual tour. I did 2 performances
Okay.
at the Peabody,
Okay.
the infamous Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
I later met up with Bob Marley when I was in singing for the USO Army Jazz Band. And he and Melba Moore performed at the Birnbaum Fort in Frankfurt, Germany.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
it's
And did
been
he recognize you?
Yes,
You
he
did?
did.
Okay.
as well as Melba.
Now, that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good story because how many? I don't think I've had anyone on the show that met up with Bob Marley.
Well, it's absolutely amazing for me because when I met Bob Marley at the meager age of 13, I was absolutely flabbergasted.
I know.
And then to re-meet him again at the age of 20 or 21, that was just amazing. And for him to remember me, that was astounding.
Boy, you guys work with some famous, great people.
Yeah,
And
I've
you
been
have all of
lucky.
these memories to, and things to remember.
I do, and I
Mhm.
it's been a great journey.
Now, what was the, I see you here, the Chitlin Circuit in the South. Could you tell us a little bit about
The
that?
Chitlin Circuit in the
Chitlin?
Chitlin.
Okay.
The Chitlin Circuit in the South was interesting because in those days, blacks per se were not allowed in a lot of places.
Okay.
So we had to do all of the back lots and back slots and back alleys and things like that. But from Mississippi to Alabama to Florida, it was quite interesting because a lot of the places we did perform in,
Mhm.
white people, they would attend, but we always were escorted through the back way.
Oh,
So
yes.
um,
Yes.
even though, we named it the Chitlin Circuit because that's really what it was. It was cut and circumcised in so many different ways and places.
Mhm.
That's why it was named the Chitlin Circuit, which stretched, as Gil mentioned, all the way to The Uptown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So.
Okay.
That was interesting.
So, and how long did you do that?
Oh, about 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Was it exciting?
Some
No?
parts of it was, some parts of it wasn't, you know. Anytime that, you know, you have to deal with racism, you know, and the Jim Crow era, it's a little difficult, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as a youngster,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I learned to overlook that because I was from the North. So a lot of what was going on, you know, at the church, Chitlin Circuit, I just kind of ignored it, looked
Mm-hmm.
over it, you know, until it was brought to my attention. You know, you can't do this, or you can't go in there.
No, I understand, and I guess that was a learning experience too.
Absolutely.
You know, that
Absolutely.
was a learning experience just to know that this is existing here.
You know,
You know?
And the funny thing is, Doris,
United States.
my parents used to tell me about it.
Yeah, but when you're young, you don't, you
I
know.
know.
And you know, like I said, my mother was a stickler for education.
Mhm.
I remember her sitting us in front of a television
Mhm.
and telling us, you need to watch this. You
Yeah.
know, the revolution of
Mhm.
Martin Luther King,
Mhm.
you know, the days of Malcolm X. I mean, this was something that my parents brought to our attention because we were going to live through this.
Yeah.
You know, my father said that he would never go south again. And he didn't for as long as I can remember. And the first time we went down south with him, with my parents, was for a funeral. You know, and I mean, he didn't relish going then.
Yeah. No.
You know, if you made it north,
You stay north.
you stayed north.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's what our parents did, because, you know, we moved south from south here.
The
Mhm.
first
And they
time
never
the
went
Papa them
back.
took us down to Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first experience reading and seeing whites only and colors, you know, in the rear signs.
And you
This is
know,
Washington, D.C.
But they loved our entertainment, wasn't that
Oh, yes.
correct? They loved
yes,
that, right?
oh yes,
They,
oh yes. Sammy Davis Jr. was a model.
Citizen, yeah.
You know, he was a model entertainer for the whites. You know,
okay.
putting him in the collage with the Rat Pack. I mean, you know, that was colossal.
Well, okay, let's continue with this, because
Okay.
that's making us think of, you know.
Yeah.
But through all of that, you know, that prepared you for this. What you're
Pretty
doing
much,
now, that
yeah.
made you stronger. So you have to look at the positives to go with all of that.
And you know, the sad part about all of it is, we as a people, we as entertainers, we don't reach back enough.
Oh, I know.
You know, we don't think about the next person that wants to do this, or you know, if she's capable, or if he's capable, or you know, what
Yes.
are their qualities, you know.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm so glad you asked me
Mhm.
to do this interview, you know, because I have people who I know who really just want to sing.
They want to sing, and you know what? Not only do they want to sing, it's that a lot of them have been around trying for so very long.
So very long.
And can't seem to get a break, or they have worked with other artists and they were part of what made that artist where they are today. You know, they did background, they played instruments,
They got no
yeah,
recognition.
and
for it.
they really have not gotten any recognition for all the things that. So we wanted to bring this out. Hearing your story at the age of 13, doing a couple performances with Bob Marley, you know, that's great at the age of 13. If you hadn't come on the show, the world wouldn't have known, you know, what you've done.
I'm
That
sure.
was just a part of it, because we have a whole list of things that you've done. Okay?
I was blessed.
Yep, you're okay. So let's talk about these artists that you work with. Sundown, Breakwater. Let's take a few of these.
Well, Sundown was Bobby Bird's basement.
Okay?
Excuse
Okay.
me. And Breakwater, I used to sneak in at the Lutheran Church
Yeah, you're okay. Okay.
at the corner to hear their rehearsals. And just one day they said, you know what, you always sneaking in here. Come on
Yeah.
down here. You know, and they let me sing. Which led me to Pitch Black. Barry Robinson, Daryl Pridgeon. It was great.
Okay.
And then Chill Factor, which is a really interesting story because when I started singing with Chill Factor, Dee Dee Sharp.
Dee Dee Sharp. We remember Dee Dee Sharp, right? Mashed potatoes?
Do the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Give me some gravy.
Okay.
Hired them from
Okay.
under me.
Really?
I'll never forget it. We went to her home when she lived in Winfield,
Mm-hmm.
and they were setting up, and Dee Dee came down the steps and she said, "Who the hell is that witch?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Get her out of my house." Dennis and Joe nicely escorted me out. They took me home.
Okay.
They called me that Monday and said, "We're going on tour with Dee Dee."
Okay.
I said, "No problem." Don Casale got me on another tour with Billy Paul.
Oh, so you work with Billy Paul also?
Yes.
Okay.
I was his opening act. That was the first time I did the Uptown Theater.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay, so now you work with, is this Jerome Wilkerson?
He was a part of Chill Factor. Dennis
He's a part.
Wilkerson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe Black, I think you just talked about him, right?
Joe Brown. That was he was a part of Chill Factor too. He was a horn player.
Okay. All right. And then of these tours, which one would you say was the most important, beneficial to you? Learning?
I think the biggest tour that I went on was recently when I went to Nashville.
Nashville. Okay.
And I did the Grand Ole Opry. I did it with a group called These Guys out of South Carolina, Hilton Head. And we were hosted by a gentleman. God rest his soul, it's hard to talk about him. He died on me, Wally. Big Wally. It was great. I got to do my song. I performed it over 4 times.
Okay.
He took us back to Nashville 3 times. It was great. And then it was the Bob Marley incident. Those were the best 2 tours.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a moment and let's say hi to our Facebook fans and friends and the whole world that we're talking to this evening. And joining us was, hi Denise. Glad you had time to join us. Glad you joined in. Okay. Catherine Prater. Hi, Catherine, and thanks for joining in.
That's my sister.
She said, let me turn this off. She said, Catherine says, we are watching.
Okay.
Okay. Sean Roberts, and that's my cousin. Hi,
Okay.
Sean. And Sean is from South Carolina, I think, South Carolina. Hi, Sean. No, Sean is from Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia, okay. Vivian Lewis, is that?
That's
Vivian?
my girl.
Okay. Hi. Did I pronounce her?
Yeah.
Okay. Gabriel. Hi, Gabe. Hey, he joined us. Egypt Marie, and that's my family, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tanya, for joining in. Thank you all for joining in. This portion of the show is being brought to you, sponsored by Yasmin Clean Cuts at 864 Hatfield Street in Philadelphia. Hours are Tuesday to Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sunday from 11 to 4. Drop in and get your hair cut. If you have sons, boyfriends, husbands, ask them to go to Yasmin's and get their hair cut. She does a really good job, and she's fast. She has a lot of barbers there, so you don't have to sit there forever. She runs a good business, so give her a shot. Okay, so let's continue, okay? Now, we talked about your most important tours. Now, let's talk about your genre of music. Jazz, rhythm, R&B. Tell us all about what you do.
Well, I started with R&B.
Uh-huh.
I kind of grooved into jazz
Okay.
because the R&B, it got too monotonous. It was too
Meaning
much
what?
of the same
Meaning
stuff.
what?
It was too much of the same stuff. I couldn't.
The same
couldn't
chords, the same
Yeah.
melodies, the same.
It was like there was no exploration in the music. You know, all of the love songs that were being written were basically about the same love story.
Okay.
So with jazz, I could expand that.
Okay.
And it didn't have to be a story.
Mhm.
It could just basically be a rhythm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's really what geared me toward doing jazz.
So how long did you do the R&B?
A few years, quite a few years.
Okay. Did you record any R&B songs?
No.
Okay, so you didn't record any R&B song, but you just perform R&B.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you moved on to jazz.
Yes.
And you found that more appealing to you.
Yes.
Okay. So did you record any jazz songs?
Yes. The one song that I wrote is a jazz song.
Oh, okay.
That's when You Know You're in Love was done on a jazz menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, then do you do gospel?
Yes, I do.
You do gospel too?
Yeah. Everybody says that gospel is my niche.
Oh, okay.
I'm most comfortable there.
All right.
Yes.
So, your plans for the future, if you had to choose one of those three genres, right? Which one would you choose? If you got a recording deal and they say, okay, you choose which type of music you want to do, what would you choose?
I would choose gospel first and then jazz.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I love jazz, but like I said, everybody has said, and I just recently performed for my church conference Sunday, and everybody says, girl, you bring tears to anybody's eyes, and I'm like, you know what? I don't mean to make you cry, but it's a wholesome feeling.
Okay.
When you're standing at the mic, and the minister is there and he's presented the theme for the service.
Yes, yes.
And then you can intricate, on that. Intriculate on, what he has geared the service to be. And I do that well.
Well, that's really good. And I imagine, well, I did some, when I lived in West Virginia, Sharon, I was a part of a gospel choir.
Where are you?
And it was a very good experience because I never sang gospel before, and I was a part of this choir. I learned so many songs that my parents used to sing, because in West Virginia, we did a lot of songs, like I'll call them wild songs, There were no really inspirational kinds of songs. They were more just gospel songs,
Right.
And so I learned a lot of songs, and I would always call my mom and say, Mom, I learned this, I learned that, singing on the choir. And now I'm here in Philly. I've been here for 10 years. And I have a gospel choir, and it's a small choir, but we learn a lot of songs. But it's not the old time, the hymns, as much as we're doing
spiritual hymns.
We're learning inspirational kinds of songs now.
Right, yeah.
And I can understand the feeling you get when you do that.
Gospel has taken a different toll now.
Yes.
It's not just the old elegance of the old spirituals, when the slaves were working in the fields and they were really feeling, calling on an inspirational being,
Calling God, yes.
Gospel has really gone wild.
Well, each generation, as far as starting off with what you just said, spirituals. From the spirituals, when this newfangled stuff came along called gospel,
Right.
right, that was sinful music.
Yes.
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 And then when that generation died out, it was nothing but gospel. But now we're going from gospel to what we have? Contemporary, we have rock, we have all.
Some of it is really great, and some of it is really, dowering because it just
It's
takes,
secular.
it takes away from, what the real meaning of spiritual and gospel is.
Right.
And I'm careful, I'm real careful when I choose to perform at a church. You know, I don't call it a performance. You know, I call it giving God His glory. You know, and a lot of the new groups now, you know, they stand in front of the mic and they say, you know, I got to give God His, you know, but they're not singing that. They're not portraying that. And each performance, each time I go before the Lord, you know, that's what I want people to see and to get from what I do.
Now let me. I don't know if she. Okay, I want to bring this lady in. Okay. Hey Sandy, but I want to talk about Barbara Berger.
Yeah,
Okay.
see what she's talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Barbara, how are you? When I lived in West Virginia, Barbara Berger and I were real close friends, and she has a voice out of this world, and she sings on choirs, and she sings lead, and she does it all, and she's great. And when she sings her hymns, you could tell it's coming from her heart.
Yes.
Because she actually sings those songs.
Okay.
You could feel what she sings. So Barbara says, now Sharon, you're on my street. Hymns and gospel music. Amen.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an inspiration to me to hear when people say, you know, I felt what you said.
Yes.
Or I felt what you sang.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the performance that I did Sunday, you know, and this is not to ring my own bell or anything, but the song that I sang Sunday, I sang my mother into her final sleep. She went on home to glory with the song that I sang. And, you know, that in itself says to me, you're good at what you do, and, you know, just keep on doing it as long as you put God first.
Yeah.
If God is in it, you will win it. So thank you, Barbara.
Great. Okay, so now let's go to, did I get them all? Sandy's here. Hi, Matt. How you doing? Matt says hi. Matt says hi to you, Gil.
Yeah, Gil Saunders.
And Gil Saunders. Hi, Gil. It was good seeing you last night. And then we have Catherine Prater. Loved it. Okay. Do you know Catherine?
That's my sister.
Oh, okay. Back. Okay. All right. So now we get back to, let's get back to our interview.
Okay.
Now, you wrote a song. You're a songwriter, and you wrote a song. Let's talk about that song.
That's when you know you're in love. Loved it.
You love that song.
I got together with Lamb Chop Eugene Curry.
Eugene Curry, yeah. Eugene Curry.
Very
Hi, Lamb
good.
Chop. Hi, Lamb Chop. Okay.
Interesting fella.
Yes.
Quite the musician.
Okay.
I asked him to play at a wedding for me, and he declined to do that.
He
One
did?
thing, yeah, he
Okay.
says he doesn't do live performances anymore.
Okay.
You know, he wrote the song that's "Somebody Loves You, Baby" along with Bunny Sigler
Okay.
for Patti LaBelle.
Some-
So he thinks he's the real big wig now. So he doesn't have to play our little gigs anymore.
Okay.
Anyway, he declined to do the wedding, so one thing led to another, and we came up with this song together. You know, I told him a little bit about me, and he told me a little bit about him, and this was what we came up with. And you can view this song on YouTube. It's under my name, Sharon Richie. If you just put my name in, the song will come right up for you. But it's called That's When You Know You're in Love.
Okay.
And it was a work of art done by two people who had been through some things in the music business.
Okay.
And we wrote it down.
That was great.
Yeah.
And it's out now.
It's out now.
It's so you did a single.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And Lamb Chop produced it.
Yes, he did.
How was he chosen as your producer?
Wasn't.
He wasn't just he just produced the song, right? He just jumped and took over, huh?
Pretty much.
Okay, all right.
He's a hands-on guy like that.
Okay. Now, how's your song being promoted?
through YouTube. I perform it live whenever I get a chance.
Okay.
It was performed live in Tennessee. It was performed live down in South Carolina. It's all over YouTube, as I said. You know, I've gotten a lot of views on it. So, like I said, you can see it.
Okay. Now
the video is on YouTube.
Was this a gospel song, R&B song? What type?
It's
of
jazz.
It's jazz.
It's jazz.
Okay.
Smooth jazz.
I bet you that's nice. So we have to go. I have to check that out.
Yes.
Okay,
do
I
so.
will. I went on there and I saw where it was a single, but I didn't have time to listen to it. But I will.
Okay.
Okay. Because I
You'll
want to know.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to know everything that you're doing. Okay, so now, Tony Jones, who's one of the baddest
My
bass
boy.
players, you know, there is.
He's a bad boy. He a bad
He's
boy.
and he is a
you
kind
know,
guy. He's
yes,
really-
he is. He a bad boy on that
Yeah.
on that bass though. I tell you.
So he said to me that he knew someone who had an interesting story to tell, and he wanted me to interview her, and that was you, you know, and he had nothing but good things to say about
Thank you, Tony.
So we want to shout out to Tony Jones. And I went to, I think, your page, and did you just do a show with Tony, or is
At the
it
World
coming up?
Cafe Live.
At the World Cafe. Tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Oh, it was great.
It was good.
Oh my God, it was a great show, and the build up for it
Yeah.
was magnanimous. I couldn't tell you. My sisters came. My family absolutely supported me on it. Tony was great. I got to do some of the songs from one of my CDs, and it was just a great show. It was really a great show.
How many, was it just for that one night?
It was just for that one night.
Okay.
And we did, there were other people on the show with me. It was Richie, Frederick, and a girl named Legioness. And then it was Tony Jones Trio. And it was great. It was just great entertainment. We had a great turnout.
Okay. Well, I saw that, and I couldn't remember whether it just happened or it was coming up. Okay.
That was 2008, October 2018.
Okay, so it was last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Sharon, how did you balance out your music career? Are you married? Oh, that's funny. We talk about marriage. You start laughing.
Well, I could tell you some stories, but currently no.
No. Okay. But you were married or whatever when you were performing.
Well, I'll give you the key.
Okay.
5.
5 what? Hey, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Did you hear what she said?
Huh?
Tell Gilbert what you said.
What?
5 times.
5 times?
Don't talk about me now. Don't talk about me and my 3 times.
I've actually been married 5 times.
Hats off to you, Sharon. I
I'm
understand.
I'm still currently married, but I
I
won't talk about
understand.
that. But no, I'm
Notice I ain't
separated.
saying
I'm
nothing.
single. I'm separated. I'm single. I'm looking.
Oh, no.
Is there a good
You're
man there
You're
somewhere?
not going to find nobody after 5 marriage. I'm telling you, that's what they tell me.
They ain't got to stay, baby.
Okay.
Come on a good day, bring me some money, and you know, we can let it roll.
Okay. Well, now, do you have, I think we talked about this, a publishing company?
No, I do not.
Okay, but you're going to try to see.
I'm going to look into, starting my own publishing company.
Yes.
You know, so that I could start to get some of the rights to
Right.
my music.
Right.
You know, and the monies that come along with that.
And that's what we want to be able to get anyone who's interested in music, writing songs, to, it's a business, but to open up or create your own publishing company, because that's very important. So when the song is written, you will have a say-so in getting your publishing, instead of the record company or recording company, whoever says, I want 100% of that publishing. You say, no, I have my own publishing company, and let's go 50-50 or let's go 60-40 or whatever the case is. So you have your own, you're building your business up as you go. So a publishing company is very important. But you get all your songs copyright,
Yes, I do.
right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I just recently learned, that copyrights don't last
They don't.
a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to re-copyright your material. And that's important because once you lose the copyright,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't, then people can just come in and take your material
Yeah.
and do what they want with
Right.
it. So you have to learn we all have to learn to make sure that we stay up on our copyright dates.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you do any kind of workshops, or like vocal kinds of things where you would show inspiring vocalists really how to
I
sing?
do vocal lessons.
Vocal lessons. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do vocal lessons, for the people who really are interested in doing this. I don't have time for the riffraff.
I understand.
If
I
you're
understand.
not really, if you really don't want to sing, don't call me, because I don't have the energy, for negativity.
Mm-hmm.
When you say you want to sing, I'm going to give you a price. You're going to come for your lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I do.
And that's good to know, because I imagine a lot of these gals and guys, they want to sing. It's better to get lessons than to get up there to sing and be flat the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But so you hear that, guys. Sharon Richie gives vocal lessons. So if you want to sing and sing right, then we can contact Sharon. Right?
That's right.
Okay. So now we go into are you available for weddings?
Oh,
that kind of stuff?
absolutely. I do all occasions. And I can give you a shout out at another time, for the contact information. But I do weddings, all occasions.
All over? Like
All
you'll
over.
go other places to do
Yes.
weddings?
Have car, we'll travel.
Okay. And tell us about some of your influences. I think you on your bio you had some listed, and tell me why.
I loved Dionne Warwick.
Okay.
She was my first. When she sang "Do You Know the Way to San Jose,"
Yeah.
I wanted to go.
You wanted to go?
I wanted to go. I wanted to know where San Jose was and when can I get there. And then there was Aretha Franklin.
Oh yeah.
I loved her gospel.
Yeah.
And then for me, the whole nut in the shell was Melba Moore.
Okay.
I love me some Mel. She has such an articulate
Speak up.
way of just getting her message out in her
Mhm.
song, in
Mhm.
her singing,
Hmm.
and she's been a great inspiration to me.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got to work with her,
You did.
with Dee Dee. Yeah.
Can we talk about, or could you talk about some of the things you are doing with Dee Dee?
Well, actually, Dee Dee took me all the way to Australia.
Okay, now we're talking about Dee Dee Sharp, right?
Dee Dee Sharp
Okay,
Gamble.
so okay.
And I did some things with her with AMG, the Artists Music Guild CEO, David Cook.
Mhm.
We did a Diamonds Direct expose in Monroe, North Carolina. And we did a show at the Monroe Crossings Mall in North Carolina.
Mhm.
And Dee Dee's a great inspiration to me also.
Mhm.
She's quite a character.
And she's working with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She's been real good to me. The lamb chop scenario, she kind of got me out of a bad situation.
Mhm.
But I don't want to badmouth anybody, but
Mm-mm.
Dee Dee was really good to me. And when she told me, just what this song meant and where it was going to go, with this particular producer, she made it very plain to me, that she would work with me if I would, stop doing foolish things.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that was a foolish move for me because, I don't have rights to the song,
Mhm.
but I do perform it. But I don't get any monies from it.
Well, you look at it this way. Maybe that's how it was meant to be. But your time is coming.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
Yes, it is.
you can't do anything about the past, but
That's
you
right.
sure enough can protect yourself for the future.
A lesson learned.
And yes, and Sharon, your time is coming. Okay,
I know it is.
and the royalties that you're going to get with this new song that you're going to record and publish and put out, it's going to be much more than you would have ever gotten with the other song.
Thank you, Doris.
So you have to remember that, because that's how it works.
That's right. You're
Right?
right.
That's
You're
how it
right.
works.
You're very right. And I don't look back. You know, I do perform the song, and I love the song. You know, it was a first lesson learned for me.
Yes.
You know, but I have another one. I have quite a few.
That's the one, right? That's the one.
And I'm not going to let that stop me.
Okay. So when we talk about you are a member of the Universal Church of God, what voice ministry, what do you do there? What was
When I started singing in church, that was the name of the church that my father was a minister at. It was
Okay.
the Universal Kingdom of God in Christ.
Mhm.
At 4218 Lancaster Street.
Oh,
Here
I
in
hear
Philadelphia.
Philly. 4218 Lancaster.
Prophet Willie Wind Overseer.
Okay, all right.
And it was a great, great place to be. They always had more than, well, they never had standing room. The church was always packed. And we had a choir of over 100 voices.
Mm.
And it was a great experience growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in church 7 days a week. My parents just believed, you know, we came home from school, we did our homework, we ate our dinner,
And
went
off
to
to church.
Off to church. Right now, I'm a member of New Bethel AME.
Is that down South
This is
Philly?
Lancaster Avenue?
No, that's Germantown.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
down 13th and...
Bethel, I'm thinking about out in Ardmore.
We're a conglomerate
Yeah.
of churches now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
it's the AME, African Methodist
Right.
Episcopalian Church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is my home church now. And we have a great ministry. At the corner of Germantown and Topahawken, Barry Miles is our choir director there. Magnanimous guy. You know, really wonderful. And he does all genre of music in the
Okay.
for the church.
Okay.
It used to be real traditional.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We had Muriel King at the head of the musician board, and she's really a great musician, and I still work with her.
Okay.
But I enjoy, you know, my time with my church.
Okay, so you do a lot, you still do a lot.
Yes.
A lot of kinds of things with your music.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, and that's how you have to keep yourself
Active.
in it. Yeah, and in it. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And you know, I've always told everybody, you know, if God ain't in it, you can't win it.
Oh,
It's
God.
a simple thing, you know. And my mother used to tell me all the time, you know, child, you need to learn how to pray. You know, she said, you know,
Yeah.
I've had an interesting upbringing, and I've been through some things in my life, you know. But at the end of the day, I always remember those words, you know, my mother said to me, you know, it don't take nothing to learn how to pray. All you got to do is talk to God.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a simple conversation, you know, and I've learned to do that very well. Very well. Just recently, I had a conversation. I was in my living room, and I was sitting at the computer, and I said, you know, I really want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there, and I began to sing, I'm Still Holding On.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
just sat
Oh,
there
that's
for
a
that
beautiful
moment
song.
and talked to the Lord,
Mm.
you know. And it was we had a good conversation. It was a good feeling, and he put my heart at ease about a lot of things, and especially with this music.
Okay. So the music is gonna really do you good.
It's going to take me around the
It's
world
gonna,
again.
it's gonna, yeah, and that's what you want. You know, sometimes you think you're down, but you're really not down. He may sit you down for a moment and let you just sit down and pray. And he brings you right back up.
I wholeheartedly believe the Lord, you know, he has his own way
Mm-hmm.
of getting your attention. And sometimes, you know, it's just necessary. for him to just, tap us on the shoulder and say, you know what, I just need you to be still. So
Lord,
you
I
can
know.
hear what I'm saying to you
Yes, yes.
and respond,
Yes.
in a way that I need you to respond. And that's his way.
Let me say thank you to some of our sponsors. Another sponsor. I have this portion of the show was bought by Nina Capone. She's the CEO of Artist Development Services. She's located in Youre. And if you're having trouble doing your scheduling, she can come in and get you on a software program that will do all the scheduling for you. She can help you book shows. She can help you create the shows. She's just so brilliant in so many ways. Nina is always there to help you, and so if you need Nina, you can call her. I'm trying to read her number. My eyes don't like they used to be. It's 215-909-5016, and she's always there to help. She does a lot of artist development along with everything else she does. I also want to say thank you to Butch Ingram. I always give him a shout out because he's always there for us. He is in the process of taking some of the old artists or, the old school artists and doing some recording for them. Okay? He has his own studio in Voorhees, New Jersey. So if you're looking for another break, which many of us are, give Butch a call. Thank you for all your work. Butch is doing a lot of things with Fat Larry's band. I want to thank him for that. Also, I'm going to stop a minute and I'm going to talk about Mingle. Gilbert and I have a performance, an event coming up on May 24th at Mingle Event Studio, located at 1905 North 54th Street. And it starts at 8 o'clock. And our guests is going to be Valerie Ford and Vince Stiff and Zach Durham. And they have formed this trio. They call themselves VZV. And they're going to be performing 2 sets on that night. It's going to be a R&B and jazz intimate evening. So we're expecting you to join us. You won't regret that. So that's at Mingles at 1905 North 54th Street here in Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay. I want to say thank you to Ellie Closet Boutique. She's always there to support us. She has a lot of real nice clothes. I tried to get there today to buy a few pieces, but I couldn't do that. And they're reasonable clothes. She's located at 247 South 60th Street, and her phone number is 215-528-5761. We'll also take a minute to say thank you to Philly Live Radio, because if I don't, and when we get off the air, I'll hear it. So I want to thank Gilbert for...
Right, what about TOP?
Wait a minute. Let me finish Philly Live Radio first.
Philly Live Radio,
okay?
That's right.
Let me say thank you to Philly Live Radio. Let me say thank you for Gilbert, our producer. And we have 4 programs on Philly Live Radio. We have TOP, Talents of Philadelphia, and that's on Tuesday evenings from 8 to 9 I have. And we have Let's Go Back, and that's 9 to 10 on Tuesdays, and your host is no other than Carlos Devon Rayleigh. And on Monday, we have Motown Monday. And Gilbert is your host, and we play all the Motown songs. That's really a good program. So then on Sunday, we have the inspirational program with Reverend A. Willis Brown from the Mount Airy Baptist Church.
And that's put together by Terry.
Terry Price, which a lot of you know Terry Price. He puts that together.
Right.
Okay? So it's a lot of things going on, and we want to take time and let you know what we do and how we're here to support you and the community. Okay, so let's go back so we can close out. And anything that you want to say to your audience at this time. Well, wait, before we do that, are you performing locally?
I have a show coming up.
Oh, I love that. Let me see that. Can you see that in the camera? That's beautiful. Okay.
Kind of became my trademark.
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
I have a show coming up at the Club South. I'm not sure of the date yet, but I'll keep you up to date
Okay.
and let you know when. Tony has to let me know.
Okay, so Tony's on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Tony, he'll tell us.
Hmm.
He'll let you know.
Tony has some real good material, and
Yeah. I
you're
play a lot.
playing that on top.
I play it on top, and the fact that he's good in the evening for that fusion that he does.
Hmm.
It's nice.
Do you know a name of one of the songs he does? So we could let Facebook know that name of the tune that comes on
I
top.
believe Real Love is one of them.
Real Love.
Real love, yeah.
Real
That's
Love?
One, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can turn on Philly Live Radio,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on Tuesday evenings on
Mhm.
top, on the top program, and listen to Tony Jones
Mm-hmm.
playing Real Love.
Right.
Okay, it's a great song, so you can listen out for that. Okay, so you're playing at the.
Club South at
Club South.
Broad and Green Streets.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the date, but it will be upcoming.
Okay.
And I think Sunday I'll be at 3801 North Broad. Market Street.
Oh, the 3801, that building up
Yeah,
there.
that's for the church conference.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure what the ticket prices are,
Mhm.
but it's for the Bethel AME African American
Mhm.
African Methodist Episcopalian Church
Okay.
yearly conference.
Okay, so we want to support Sharon and all the places that she's going to be. We just really need to support her. She needs our support, and we will support you.
I know
Okay,
you will. Thank
okay,
you so much,
Okay.
Doris.
Now, I want to say a couple more things before Gilbert gives me this 5 minutes out.
Okay.
Okay, because he's going to tell me we have to go.
Okay.
Next week, we have 2 shows. Okay, on Thursday, May 9th.
She's killing me.
Oh, they're killing me. But we have to keep going, right? We have a show at 1 o'clock p.m. on Thursday. And we will be discussing and meeting and interviewing with Jimmy Williams, who was supposed to be here a couple weeks ago, but because of scheduling problems, he couldn't make it. But Jimmy Williams played bass for the OJs for 30, 40 years, right?
Long time.
And a long time. So his interview is going to really be great. So we want you to join us. That's Thursday, May 9th at 1 o'clock p.m. And then we come back again at 8 o'clock p.m. with a group called Firestone. Now, Firestorm. And they have a new CD out. I don't have that right here to show
Yeah, you
you.
do.
Okay, he's going to give
Yeah,
me
you do.
that. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is Firestorm. And they have this new CD out. And they will be here next Thursday at 8 o'clock. So please join us both times. If you missed the interview, you can always go on my Facebook page and look at it. And please share the interviews with family and friends and ask them to share it with family and friends. Okay, you can follow me on Facebook, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can check me out on Instagram, and you can check out my webpage. We're here for you. We want to bring you good interviews. We all take away something from each interviewee that comes on this program. So we thank you for supporting us, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Listen to the artists of today. Travel with them along.